Today I'm going to show you the one production trick that I use the most. This isn't clickbait, this is actually something that I use all the time, almost daily when I'm producing. And unfortunately for you, it's super simple. Now this trick really relates to when you're actually making a beat, like when you're creating it. It's not down the line, it's the very beginning. So this is particularly helpful if you're struggling to make beats, you've got beat block or whatever that side of things is. This is when you want to create a song. Welcome to the Producer Place. My name is Nick Rollo. I'm a producer and mixing engineer from Australia. Hope you're doing well. If you use Studio One, there are some free Studio One presets linked below, and there's also a free vocal mixing cheat sheet for any DAW. You can check it out, linked below. Let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you an example of it, and then I will attempt to recreate it. Should be fun. So here is the beat that I'm working with. I personally think that's really cool. Not that it's particularly important to this video. So the way that I started this beat is on the Mini Freak, the Arturia Mini Freak to my left, which is a hardware synthesizer. And I started with this. And then I built bass around it. And then the rest of the beat just kind of came alive with it. So the technique here is you start a song with a drone, an arpeggiator, some kind of really repetitive melody that doesn't change chordally. So it's the same thing over and over again. Da da do da da do, or da 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 da. If that makes sense. Basically, you want it to be this constant throughout the beat, throughout the chord progression that you can then write chords to. So in this case, I did it with an arpeggiator with the Mini Freak, and that sounds really cool. You could do it with a lot of things. So let's have a quick look at it. And I swear I use this so much. This is probably my biggest technique of actually just like coming up with something vibey, is to make a cool sounding idea that's loopable and then write bass or chords underneath it. So I'm going to do it with this keyboard, which has a ridiculous delay on it. And I'll just chuck it over here. I will quickly do 4 bars. And I'm just going to... make a kind of arpeggio. And then we just loop it. It's not ultra inspiring just yet, so we'll chuck on whatever effect this is. So that already sounds pretty sick. What I'm going to do is just bounce it out, purely just so I can EQ it without disrupting any of the stuff from the actual beat of this. And I'm just going to use the Kirchhoff EQ. So that feels pretty good. Maybe I'll just quickly add a reverb. This is kind of irrelevant, but in the same sense, it is kind of relevant because you want it to sound good. You want it to sound vibey. That's really the core component of this idea, is you want something that's inspiring that you want to make something to. It's essentially like using a loop from Splice. You're just making the loop. Cool, that sounds sick. Let's use bass. All I'm going to do is use my ear to figure out what notes sound good, and then we'll just build from there. You could try and detect the key signature, whether that's through, Studio One, which doesn't really want to do it there. You could do it on the MIDI file, D flat, or you could use Auto-Tune Auto Key. There is an affiliate link to get a free 14-day free trial of Auto-Tune Unlimited. Anyway, or you can just use your ear. That's cool. And then we'll do like the Just like that. Vibes. Sounds nostalgic. That's just one option. We could also go in and make a completely separate thing. Oh, it's the same starting note. Damn, easy. And then from there you can start building chords, build drums, etc, etc. I personally just think it's just so easy. It's such a simple way to build up a vibe, and it's just, afterwards we can delete this sound if we want. We don't have to use that. That's just like the placeholder, that's the start. You can do the same thing by grabbing a loop from Splice that is this kind of thing, building a song around it, delete the loop. You don't have to use it. In this case, this sounds really cool, so I do actually want to use it. I'm going to bounce this thing down and save it for later. And that is the technique. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, hit like and hit subscribe. And as I said, you can get those free things linked below. I'll catch you next video. If you have any questions about production or mixing that you'd like to see a video about, comment below. See ya.